Alright, back to Putin moves south. There's 2 of diamonds. Chinese equipment, cards. So we have a multi-role unmanned aerial vehicle, Wing Loom, flight range 4,000 kilometers. That makes more sense. Air-to-surface missiles and reconnaissance. So right there. Alright, I saw something that I was thinking about the last time I played, and that's what to do. I was pretty sure that air units that are eliminated in combat are out of the game for good. And that is correct. So recycling air units. Recycling of air units is not a separate action. Upon completion of any air mission, place all surviving air units in their side's reinforcement area. Air units in a reinforcement area can only return to play by conducting a reinforcement action. Air units that are eliminated, result of A1, A2, E1, E2, and E3. What's E? Eliminate. Defending, okay. Okay. That's interesting. Are permanently out of play. Recycling of air units represents maintenance operations. And then we have recycling special forces. This is different. They don't go to the reinforcement area. Yeah, they don't, because they're in the staging area. What you do is when you're done with your SF unit, roll 1 die for each SF unit involved in the combat. That die roll is the number of turns before the SF unit is available for use, so you place it on the game turn track, that number forward. You know, I just realized what happens if you roll beyond the end of the game. When a turn marker reaches a space containing SF units, then you place those SF units in the friendly staging area. That does not cost AP, action points. Okay, if an SF unit's return would take place after the last turn of the game, it is out of play for the rest of that game. That answers my question. So if we were, for example, in turn 7, and you're done using SF unit, you roll a die, you roll 5, that would take you beyond the last game turn of 10, so that SF unit is out of the rest of the game. Okay. That helps me there. So I'm thinking of doing another. Okay, so it's the coalition action. What I'm going to do is move all hyper war units. Okay, move all hyper war units. That's what I want to do. So I declared the movement action and the type of movement being used. All right, designate the units. I'm going to move with the MEF here, and I'm going to move with the the RF unit here. Right there. So NATO RF unit here, just south of Mazar-e Sharif, and the MEF unit here at Herat. So 2 hyper war units. Pay. So I pay 1 action point for that. So I'm going to adjust the AP marker down 1 to 13. Alright, now we go to hyperwar move. So this is all contingents, or all contingents on your side. I was wondering about that. So I could actually move a NATO hyperwar unit and move a okay, there are Chinese, and I can move a Chinese hyperwar unit while at the same time. Okay, those might be the only ones I have right now in play or available in this scenario. But yeah, I can move from all friendly contingents. Okay. They must do the same type of movement. So type of movement, I guess I'm doing normal ground movement. Pay the required AP, I just did that. Oh, now I roll for the MPs. Hyperwar units don't move otherwise differently. So movement points, 2 for the MEF there, 2 movement points. That's only going to be 1 desert area and 3 for the RF. So I know what's going to happen here. Desert here, they're moving into the desert. Those move North 1 hex, that's the 2 movement points, and here the RF unit, they can move city, mega city is 1, so 1, 2, 3. Like that. I will mark my units as having moved. Yeah. Okay. So that's the coalition action. The other thing I was wondering about is I was looking at the Chinese airborne corps there, and I was thinking I hadn't yet seen in the rules. Oh, there it is, airborne unit deployment. Airborne units, both sides, may enter the map by using airborne movement. All right, there's such a thing as airborne movement. Airborne movement is a type of movement action that may be conducted by units that have an airborne type symbol. So I use as an example, here we go, 18th Airborne Corps. NATO 18th Airborne Corps there. It is conducted in the same manner as ground movement action except for the below procedures. Determine the MA of a unit conducting airborne movement by rolling 2 dice. Alright, so I'll use blue for the air. So I would roll 2 dice, get a low 4. The result from 2 through 12 is the number of available MPs for the move. Move the unit up to that number of hexes. Oh, hexes, not movement points. So obviously you can fly right over the desert without being slowed down. The unit can cease its movement in any hex into which it could enter via regular ground movement. The hex may not be enemy occupied. Amphibious movement. Okay, but that would be okay. So there is such a thing. So there is. I was wondering if there was any use to the airborne type units. I guess I should have paid attention to that. Maybe I wanted to do an airborne movement because I am thinking about over here the Chinese 15th Airborne Corps there. Maybe I did want him to go up and yeah, get deeper into the this terrain up here, which is what, eastern Kazakhstan. Then we have amphibious movement, so coalition amphibious units only. So I do have amphibious. What do they look like? Amphibious units. Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay, so the MEF I moved, they're also amphibious. So, would have been good to know. The anchor symbol there. So amphibious movement, can conduct amphibious movement in the Persian Gulf. That's down here, right off. Oh, there's the very tip there by Abadan. So we're talking about the Persian Gulf down here, not the Caspian Sea up here. Is conducted in the same manner as ground movement, except do not roll for MP. The unit must start its movement in a Persian Gulf port. So we've got Bandar Abbas, Bushehr, and Abadan again. So 3 ports there. The unit may be moved to any Persian Gulf coastal hex not occupied by an enemy unit. The unit may not conduct any other movement during the current action. Okay, so it's hopping up and down the Persian Gulf there.